This is my Coachella vlog, and the title of it is going to be My Love for Coachella. You guys did choose for me to go over all three of my topics, which is how to survive Coachella, my two experiences and how they were different, and why I chose to go to the two that I did, but not the last two. But before I get started with any of that, I just need to put this out there and let you guys all know that Carol G is the fucking queen of Coachella now.
Carol G was serving energy after costume change, after fireworks, after fire. She had the best performance.
I'm sorry, she surpassed everybody with this year's performance. She surpassed Beyonce, which I think was probably the first woman or of another color to headline Coachella, and I feel like she paved the way for everybody else, for all the other top headliner women performances. That was the standard, right? They had to surpass her, and obviously she was the first. Gonna deny her that credit because obviously you guys know I am part of the Beehive and I am obsessed with Beyonce as well. I also believe that Doja surpassed Beyonce with her performance that I attended. Definitely not gonna forget about my pop girlies, Lady Gaga and Ariana. Just not a pop fan, so I don't really like their music. There's a few songs that I listen to, but not enough for me to pay to actually go see them in concert. Sabrina this year, she blew my mind. I was super impressed. I seen her when I went to Coachella by myself in 2024. I loved her set then. It's just, I'm not a fan of her music, but this year's set was amazing. It was like a whole huge little lit up old Hollywood city. With the old classic cars. And you guys know I'm obsessed with old classic cars. I'm gonna give them, those pop girlies, their flowers as well. But I really don't think that anybody's gonna top the top three queens, which I think Carol G is number one, Doja, and then Bey. Carol G, I'm obsessed with her. I do love Latin music. I do love Bad Bunny. I love Cali Uchis. I love J Balvin. I love multiple other artists. But I believe Carol G is in top of that game as well. So I believe that she is the overall queen when it comes to Coachella as well as Latin music in general. I fully 100% regret not going this year, but unfortunately it just did not fall in place when it came to money and my plans. I probably could have, took out money that I had paid off my credit cards with and do it, but it just didn't fit with my schedule this year, unfortunately. And really, Carol G and Suicidal Tendencies were the only ones that I was interested in seeing. But I will give Sabrina Carpenter and even JB credit on their performances. I didn't realize just how many songs I actually do enjoy from Justin Bieber, especially his last two albums, Swag 1 and 2. So to me, I guess if I would have went this year, it probably would have been worth it, just because I don't think you guys realize, I don't know if this is expensive or cheap, but to me, it's cheap. Back in the day, when I didn't have a lot of money, when I wasn't making a lot of money, when I wasn't getting a lot of money for taxes, Coachella was a dream. It was something that I never thought that I would be able to go to, because to me, that was expensive. But once I got a divorce and once I started getting like my full tax credits, that's when it became a reality. That's when I was able to get that extra spending money to do all the things that I always wanted to do. Coachella is literally $500 to $600 for a ticket, which to me, that's 100% worth it. Especially even if you only see one artist per day, maybe just the headliners, it's worth it because you're gonna spend that much money on one ticket to see one show, more than likely these days. And so to me, it's worth it. But if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna spend that money on that ticket, I'm gonna spend the money on the flight, the hotel, my transportation, then I gotta see at least like 5 per day, right? Like it has to make my whole day worth going. When I went the first time, the reason why I went is because of the 2 top headliners that I wanted to see was Bad Bunny and Frank Ocean. Unfortunately, Frank Ocean broke his leg first weekend, and so he didn't make it to second weekend. We were very disappointed. It really sucked, but we still got our money's worth. We still got to see multiple artists. My sister actually introduced me to many artists that I didn't even know existed that I ended up falling in love with. She had me watch Umi, she had me watch 07 Shake. Butterfly, butterfly, take me on your wings and fly. She introduced me to the Suicide Boys. She introduced me to Remy Wolf, Dominic Fike. So there was many other artists that I got to see because of her that I didn't even have on my agenda. And the only thing that does suck is when they have such a huge lineup of amazing performers is you literally have to pick and choose which ones are going to fit in your schedule, which ones are not performing at the same time. And if they are, you got to pick which one you're going to go to, right? Or if their stages are close enough, you can do like a half set with the first one and then the second half with the second one, which is what I did in my second trip by myself. Is I had to split my time between Thames and J Balvin because they were performing overlapping each other, but their stages were literally right next to each other. So that worked for me. Unfortunately, when me and my sister went, Kid Laroi, which was somebody I really wanted to see and was hoping that he was going to bring out Justin Bieber for Stay, was the complete opposite direction on where Berneth, I don't know how to say it, the Euphoria guy artist was performing, and that's who my sister wanted to see. And so I told her, like, we are already here because we've seen Suicide Boys right before Kid Laroi. I'm not going anywhere. I'm fucking old. I'm tired. It's been a long fucking day. I'm staying here and I'm waiting for him. If you want to go see Labyrinth, you can go see Labyrinth, but meet me back here. And she didn't want to go. She was tired too. But then she tried to blame me for missing Zendaya on his set. And I was like, honestly, like, you're a grown person. You're in charge of your own decisions. Like, I'm sorry you weren't comfortable enough to go by yourself or your feet hurt enough to walk, but don't put this on me. I knew what I was doing. And unfortunately, it didn't bring out Justin Bieber, so she was even more pissed and disappointed. But to me, that was a vibe. To me, that was fun. Dance music. I do like vibe music as well, but vibe music has to be more in an intimate setting for me to be able to enjoy it. If I'm at a music festival, I want to get my groove on. Like, I want to, jump up and down and swing my arms around and just like have a good time. And like, vibe music in a music festival is just a little too slow for me. So that's why I did see Lana when I went, but I only stayed for a few of my favorite songs. I didn't stay for her full set. That was the beauty of my second time going around, is that I was able to pick and choose what I wanted to see. I didn't have to compromise with nobody. I didn't have to take anybody else into consideration because it was all about me and what I wanted to do. But with the schedule overlaps and where the staging was, I did have to pick and choose between the artists that I wanted to see. So I tried to see T-Pain. Unfortunately, they put him in like the smallest venue in the whole freaking grounds of Coachella, which was like a bar setting where it was like limited, and everybody was filled all around it, all behind it, all right next to it. He didn't really get to experience him fully, but it was still a vibe. Like the crowd, whoever was in the front that could hear, that was the closest, started to sing the lyrics, and everybody else just followed. It wasn't how I wanted to experience him. So I'm hoping they kind of learned from that mistake, that probably not big name performers should ever be in that venue particularly, because everybody's going to want to see him, right? I don't think he came back second weekend, probably even because of that, but I was lucky enough that I was able to catch him in Vegas at a pool party instead. Same with DJ Snake. I could not watch him perform. I had to choose between him and No Doubt. Obviously, I chose No Doubt, right? I did get to see him in Vegas. So I'm praying and hoping that because I missed Karol G's epic performance, that I'm going to be able to go to one of her shows on her tour. And hopefully it's not $500 a ticket. But yo, bitch might just have to spend that shit because she is fucking amazing. She is the motherfucking queen of overall everything, okay? Somebody fight me. Tell me not. But the first one that I experienced with my sister, there was a lot of compromise going on. We both had to agree on the schedule. We both had to agree on the artist. We both had to agree what we wanted to eat. We both had to, agree on a lot of things, make sure all of our schedules matched together. Whereas the second time, I got to do whatever the fuck I want whenever I wanted. And so that was the best part of it. Obviously, it's a lot more fun to vibe with somebody, have somebody by your side, dancing with, singing with. Hugging and shit. But it was also fun just dancing and vibing alone, because that's who I am. You guys know this. That's what I do. And I always make friends in the process. Obviously, I had my gay boys that love me. So I met them during the Thames and Victoria Monet set, which were back to back together. I met some during the Ice Spice set. Basically, the reason why I went to the last two I did is because that lineup was so unbelievable, that it was so jam-packed with performers that I had to pick and choose from, that I didn't even get to see everybody I wanted to, that it was worth it to me, right? The first trip, we definitely had to learn the hard way on what not to do at Coachella. And because we never been to a music festival. I mean, I've been to Rolling Loud, but when I went to Rolling Loud, it was like, I don't remember it being excruciating hot, but I think we didn't end up going each day until almost sundown. So it was like kind of cooling off, and it was in the middle of the city. It wasn't in the desert. It was in Miami, which is a little humid, but I just don't remember it being like very hot. And so we didn't need as much water that I needed at Coachella. The stages were literally right next to each other, like 1, 2, 3 lined up. So if we wanted to jump back and forth from each stage to each performance, then we were able to. And even with that one, we had to pick and choose and only see a half set here, a half set there, because that was a jam-packed lineup. And that's actually what I'm gonna tell you on why I didn't end up going to the Beyonce Coachella headliners, because I ended up choosing Rolling Loud instead. And I mean, I regret it, but I don't, because that Rolling Loud lineup, you're never gonna fucking get again. You know, I got to see literally every R&B rap artist that I ever wanted to in one place. And I literally didn't have to pick and choose because I was able to go back and forth between stages. Whereas the year Beyonce went, there was maybe only, same, 5 artists total that I wanted to see from the whole 3 days. So to me, it still wasn't worth it. And I did end up getting my Beyonce dream, going to Vegas last year during the Cowboy Carter tour. So no regrets at all. But when we went the first time, we literally only had 1 bottle of water, which was like a big Smart Water between the both of us, though. Not just for one of us, for both of us. We didn't realize just how much walking there was. Like where they drop you off, where the Ubers are, you gotta walk, I feel like it was at least a mile minimum to get to the gate. And it was in dirt. Like most of it was all dirt. You didn't even get to the grass area and probably to like the last couple feet of entering the venue. And so thank God I literally wore my most comfortable shoes that I had. But my feet were still hurting at the end of the night. And so at the end of the night, we took the little bicycle guys. But I didn't know that the bicycle guy doesn't take you from the beginning of the gate all the way to the parking lot. No, we had to pay 3 times for 3 separate bicycle guys because they only take you every couple hundred of feet to the next one. So we spent stupid mad money just on the motherfucking bicycle guys getting from the parking lot to the venue entrance. And then I tried to rent a car so that we didn't have to deal with any of the Uber stuff, but my child committed fraud on my card a week before going to Coachella. And so I couldn't use my credit card when we went to Coachella. We tried to use my mom's, they didn't let us. And so we had to Uber. Thank God, that's when we met one of the coolest people that I ever came across. And so shout out to my girl.
Call the crib, same number, same hood, it's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, you know, you know.
We got the juice! I got the juice! We got the juice! I got the juice! The juice! The best fucking Uber driver ever!
And all the niggas wanna know how long it take to put my pants up.
And she, I think, picked us up on the first day. And she's like, if you need a ride, like, just hit me up. I'll go get you. And we literally paid her $100 going and leaving. And it was like an hour and a half away. We stood in Moreno Valley because my bougie ass is not camping. Okay, that's one thing about me that you guys know. If I don't have a working toilet, a working shower that is non-community, not close and clean, I ain't fucking doing it. I will pay extra money. I will drive extra hours to get to a hotel to shower in and rest and sleep in a nice, comfy, cozy bed and get ready refreshed every day. And so that's what we did. That's what the best thing that we did, right, was we didn't spend that much money on our plane ticket because we flew out of LAX. We ended up staying in Moreno Valley, which is maybe not even an hour away from LAX. Moreno Valley is like an hour and a half away from Coachella. And so we made sure that we actually timed everything pretty good. I felt like we did pretty good. But the second year, I was able to get a car, thank God. And with that, I was able to park in a parking lot and get a bicycle guide to take me right to the entrance. No walking whatsoever. But my dumbass forgot where I parked the first night. And so I was roaming around trying to look for my fucking truck. And so that kind of sucked. So after that, I kind of learned, like, take pictures of your surroundings, make sure you know where you are, record your walk there. And even I think the second day, I didn't even end up taking the biker guide because the walk wasn't really that far from the parking lot. It was actually pretty convenient, even leaving. So I literally only did the bicycle guide the one time the first day that I got there. So if you're gonna go to Coachella, unpopular opinion, drive. drive, take your own car, park in the parking lot, which is free, by the way, depending on which one you park in. And you don't need to pay for the bicycle. You don't need to pay for Uber. You can literally walk and it's all grass. That was super convenient. There was also porta potties along the path in case you had to go while you were on your way there. That was convenient as well. Like I said, the path took you exactly to one entrance. You didn't have to scan through 5 entrances to get to it. And it's because we went through the camping areas entrance. So that was definitely a lesson learned for sure. Like I said, the first time we did 1 water bottle, we almost died. We ended up having to spend stupid money on buying more water. But they do have filling stations, and so you can keep filling up as you need. The second time I went, I got the 2 big ass water bottles just for me. You have to have them empty when you go in. I hit up the filling station as soon as I walked in. I saved my second water bottle and brought the electrolyte packets and used that. Definitely electrolyte packets. Anything with electrolytes is a 100% must when attending Coachella because you are going to get dehydrated. I've seen way too many people pass out in the process. And when I went the second time, I was alone. And so I did choose to be sober because I didn't want to get taken advantage of or not be able to fully enjoy my experience. I was 100% sober the second time. First time, had a few drinks. We were feeling good. We maybe smoked a little bit, but we had each other, right? And we didn't have to drive either. But that worked out. But the first time catching an Uber back home, even if you leave before the main or the headliner ends, you're gonna have at least a minimum 2-hour wait. That shit was fucking horrible. And then a few of them canceled on each other. There was parts that we didn't even have service in. So we couldn't even like use our phone to even get the Uber. So do not Uber ever to Coachella. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. And then I heard this year that they fucked everybody. They didn't even let Ubers in the festival, that they only did the black SUVs. So people had to pay hundreds of dollars just to get back to where they were going. So yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Drive, pick a designated driver per night, switch off if you're going in a group or if you're going by yourself. I enjoy being sober sometimes, especially when it comes to those kind of settings, like when it's going to be a long day, when there's lots of things going on. Because I'm old. When I start drinking and I stop, I'm ready to go to bed. I ain't trying to party. Shit, I'll just get an energy drink and stay sober and get to keep going all night long. But the way that the people go now, I feel like Coachella has turned into more of a Met Gala for influencers.
Coachella is not the same anymore. It was all about the fucking music. No one gave a shit about what you wore. No one gave a shit about who was there. So they're calling it the Influencer Olympics now because nothing but influencers go now.
These people, the way they dress is literally fucking insane. Like, they're beautiful. I love seeing it. But it's not practical.
I think you guys are missing the plot because the influencers are missing the plot. Like, a lot of these influencers are making Coachella a fashion show, so you think that you're supposed to dress in this indie way where you barely wear any clothes and you go out. And in reality, that is not how the people who are actually enjoying the concert dress. So you want to be as comfortable as possible at a concert. In reality, a belt for a shirt is not giving you any hold in your boob area. You are not bouncing around and vibing out and doing fist bumps because your boobs are going to be like, you're going to be flashing everybody. Like, it is what it is. So a lot of these outfits that you want these creators to wear with their shorts and mad short, that's you walking around going to different concert venues. Those shorts are going to be riding up your little coochie. I've worn short shorts at a concert and I regretted it. Like, my crotch was on fire. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's on fire. Like, you need something that's super comfortable. Maybe wear a crop, wear some jeans, wear some shorts. It may not be the most aesthetic looking outfit, but that's the most comfortable, realistic concert and festival outfit. So for you guys picking apart people's outfits who are looking comfy, you don't even know what to wear at a festival.
Right? So to them, I think they're just going to make an appearance, to get their pictures, to socialize. Whereas if you are there for the music, you are there for the reason why you're there, because they didn't pay to get in. You pay to get in. You paid for your ticket. You want to experience it, right? You want to make sure you get the bang for your buck. You can still be cute, but practical. Because nobody's looking at you. Nobody gives a fuck who you are. Nobody's gonna, like, who cares if people compliment you on your outfit? But ironically enough, I did get compliments every day on every outfit, and it wasn't really anything crazy. Like, it was comfortable and practical, but still cute. Like, you can still do that. It's possible. But the 100% thing that you got to remember is the comfortable shoes. Even if you have the most comfy shoes, your feet are still gonna hurt. You're still gonna get blisters. So make sure you carry band-aids with you. That's a part of the survival kit. And then also, I told you it's hot as fuck. If you go, even we didn't go, I think almost every day till like 4 or 5 was the earliest that we went. And it's hot all the way till like sundown, to like 8 or 9. It's gonna be hot. So we kind of suffered because we didn't know that they had general stores where you can buy fans, where you can buy parasols, where you can buy squirt bottles. We didn't know that. We didn't spend money on it. So we suffered a little bit. But we went second weekend, which I think is hotter than first weekend. You wouldn't think a week would make a difference, but it does for some reason, because I did both. So when I went with my sister, we went second weekend. When I went by myself, I went first weekend. Well, I knew the potential of how hot it could get because of that experience. So as soon as I walked in those doors, I went directly to the general store. I got my fan, I got my parasol, and I got my water bottle, and I was good for the rest of the day. So make sure you have those 3 items as well. And then little did I know how cold it is at night, how drastic the temperature drops once the sun goes down on first weekend compared to second weekend. Second weekend, I just had like a light sweater, a light windbreaker, and I was fine. I was warm. I didn't get cold at all. When I went first weekend, I was freezing my ass off. I had this tiny, like, cute holy sweater the first day, and I was like, I didn't stay that long for Lana, so I didn't suffer too much, but I was suffering in between Peso Pluma and Little Uzi, because that was like the 2 later shows, and then I was trying to charge my phone in between those where it was out in the wide open space, not around lots of crowds, to keep me warm. The second day, I suffered again through Tyler the Creator. I had one of my light windbreakers that I thought was gonna be enough. It definitely was not. And third day for Doja, I made sure that I brought a hoodie. I packed a hoodie with me, and I also packed me some slippers, because like I said, no matter how comfy your shoes are, your shit's still gonna hurt. So I would recommend bringing a change of shoes in your survival packet, some slides, some comfy, cozy slippers, because when the sun goes down, nobody's looking at your feet. Nobody's gonna notice what you're wearing. And most everybody at the end of the night are gonna be in hoodies. But that's what I chose to do, and I was perfectly warm on the last night. Unfortunately, it took me the last day to figure that shit out. So definitely pack a hoodie, pack some comfy shoes. These are all the necessary items of your survival kit. 2 big water bottles, electrolyte packets, a parasol, a fan, hand fan, and a squirt bottle fan, as well as comfy shoes and a hoodie. Also, if you're like me and you're bougie and you cannot camp, do not pay for hotels near. Moreno Valley isn't too far. The drive actually really isn't that bad, just because we went at pretty good times of the festival that there wasn't too much traffic. 2 hours before we wanted to get there, right? So an hour and a half to drive and 30 minutes to actually get in. Whereas the first weekend, we probably should have did an hour to get in because of the walk. So make sure if you're gonna get a hotel, that I think Moreno Valley is probably the closest, most convenient. Maybe even Beaumont, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Beaumont is not too far from there either. But definitely don't stay in Indio, don't stay in Palm Springs. That shit's so fucking ridiculous. Rent a car, drive, park. You don't need to take the bicycle, guys, but if you do, take it from the parking area, not from the Uber drop off. Do not take Ubers. 0 out of 10. Do not ever do if you don't have to. So if you do feel like you want to get drunk and get lit and everybody in your group agrees, then camp. But you got to do that shit as soon as it opens, because that shit sells out so fast. But the only thing about that too is like camping, it gets so windy there that I think that shit would be miserable. Probably one of the necessities you should take into consideration is the bandanas to hold over your mouth, because your ears and nose will be black. So when you're going at night, getting the Q-tips, you're gonna have black Q-tips. When you're blowing your nose, you're gonna have black tissues. So there's lots of dust, even though it doesn't look like that, even if you don't necessarily feel it, it's happening. So I can imagine how nasty and grimy the people in the campsites were. Also, I feel like when you go to any general mission, I always go to like the far right of the stage, because everybody's trying to smash in the center, right? If you still want to be in the center, go towards the barricades. For some reason, a lot of people don't conjugate by the barricades. None of them want to be by the barricades. And so I noticed when I was in the middle, those were like the most open areas that I was able to get to. When it came to like the huge main performances, I had to go to the far right of the stage. That's where the most shade was as well. I kind of learned that even from the first weekend going into the second weekend. I already knew my spots and where I was going to go and how I was going to get there. If you want to see somebody, I would recommend going at least probably 30 minutes prior to their performance if you think they're going to have a big crowd, just to get your spot. And as the crowd moves, like move with the crowd. That's how you get closer to the stage, right? Like spots are going to open up, people are going to shift. And so you just keep moving with them. How to get in and out of the crowd is you follow a long string of people. Like you just pretend you're with them to get closer, right? You're like, oh, you just jump on the back of that motherfucking train. Even to get out, like even trying to get out to where you want to go, like that shit kind of sucks too. So jump on another person's train. Like that's what I did. Even going to the bathrooms, like I don't know. I think they switched it up. I heard this year they only had porta potties, which is horrible because it's fucking disgusting at music festivals. But when the 2 years that I went, they actually had some nice indoor bathrooms, and there was actually a lot. There was at least 5, I think, different sections of bathrooms. But what a lot of people don't know is that there's not only one row of restrooms, there's 2 rows in each one. So there's a long ass line for the first row where there's nobody going back to the second row. So instead of waiting in line, I just pranced my happy ass straight to the back. And then people picked up like, oh shit, there's another section of bathrooms. And then if you really, really gotta go, you don't wanna wait in that line, then be a little deviant and go through where people wash their hands and go the back way. They won't even notice. And that's the best thing I think about going alone or going with only 1 or 2 people. When you're not in a large group, you kind of blend in, right? You go unnoticed. A lot of people, like if you have 5 bitches with you and you're prancing your ass, they're like, what the fuck you bitches doing? You're cutting me off and you're going in front of me, right? But if it's like 1 or 2 people, they don't even notice. Oh, so you don't really have to wait in line. If you don't want to and you want to be a little deviant, just cut all those bitches off. That's one of the survival recommendations that I have for you as well. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. I didn't go all the way fully on why I went to the first 2 weekends and not the second. Obviously, is because the lineups were insane. But the last 2 I didn't go to because there wasn't a lot of people I wanted to see. 2025, literally the only people I wanted to see was Benson Boone, The Misfits, and Ty Dolla, which none of them were headliners. So to me, it wasn't worth it. There has been a lot of good people throughout the years, but I have seen most of them in their own individual concerts. So you know me, I don't like to experience the same things and the same people more than once, unless it's just something that I cannot miss out on. They came out with a new album that just blew my mind, that it was 100% worth it. But for me, those 3 people were enough for me to spend $1,500 to go see, right? Because I'm gonna spend $500 on my ticket, a G for my plane ticket, my transportation, and my hotel. Honestly, probably wouldn't even pay to see them individually. They would have just been people that would have been convenient to see. This year, literally all I wanted to see was Karol G and the Suicidal Tendencies, but Sabrina Carpenter and Justin blew my mind. And I know a lot of people was hating on Justin's performance, saying that was lazy, and I would agree it was, but I enjoyed it. Like, I don't think I would enjoy it if I paid $1,500 to go see it, but I did enjoy it from my couch. Like, it was healing, and it was like really nice to see him heal. It was really nice to see him engage with the audience, you know, even though some bitches took it a little too far. Y'all know which bitch I'm talking about, the one touching his mouth while he's fucking singing. Are you fucking serious? He had to move that shit down because he was trying to sing, bitch. Even though he even pulled her arm closer to him, but got a little too greedy. How are the ones that ruin it for everybody else? Because you don't know how to fucking act. Honestly, with this year's Coachella, if I was able to go and I could choose and I knew exactly what was going on, I would have done second weekend. It was better for this year's second weekend on the guests because Sabrina Carpenter brought in Madonna, and that was freaking iconic.
I did it all for love. You got something to say about it?
Justin Bieber brought in SZA for Snooze, and that was amazing. He brought in Big Sean. He brought in Sexy Red. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Sexy Red. I think she's ratchet as fuck. But I do like their song together, Sweet Spot. That was pretty dope. Also, like Billie Eilish with the whole One Less Lonely Girl. That was super fucking adorable. Like, I love Billie Eilish. I do. I wouldn't pay to see her perform. Like, her music isn't really my thing. It's kind of sad girl music to me. But like, I still listen to a few of her songs. But I think she's just the most precious person. And so to see her on some fangirl shit and how like he treated her was super cute. Like I said, seeing him heal, going through his videos when he was a young boy, when he was probably at his worst times, probably brought a lot of trauma. But it was like him going through the process of healing, and then just seeing how grateful he was, how much he was telling everybody he loved them. Like, it literally made me want to cry, especially as a mother. Like, you know, imagining what he went through and getting to where he is now. It's like, wow, I'm proud of you. Yeah, maybe it was a little lazy, but like, it was still good. It was still entertaining. It was still heartfelt. Obviously, like I said, Karol G was a motherfucking queen. If I knew she was gonna go like that, I would have spent that $1,500 just to see that shit. Just being, I think, Latina makes it a little more special, right? Her first introduction, like with the whole story, like leading up to her introduction, was heartfelt.
Forever wild, forever free, Latina forever.
Her costume changes were beautiful. She even was able to do her hair different by doing the whole water scene. Her dance fucking break. Honestly, like, I was a little turned on the whole entire show. I was like, oh, the way they were dancing was, that shit was sexy. Like, it was hot as fuck. Like, y'all need to see it for real. And then just being proud of being Latina, putting out all the countries, bringing the all-women mariachi. Like, she just had so many things going on. It was visually stimulating. The pyrotechnics and the fireworks and the lasers and just the whole set was mind-blowing. Fucking amazing. Best performance of Coachella of all time, hands down. That's my girl. I'm just gonna end with a few of other iconic performances that I wish I would have known existed. Because honestly, I didn't even know Coachella existed until best friend Jake started going. So he was living in Cali probably a couple years after we graduated. He was going to a few of the shows. But at that time, there wasn't a lot of people that I was interested in seeing. Like I said, the first time I ever even thought about it, interested in, was when Beyonce was gonna perform. And then the one year that I was ready to go, gonna buy my ticket, she got pregnant. The second year, I didn't know she was coming back. and I ended up going to Rolling Loud instead. So that really sucked. And then the in-betweens, like I said, there wasn't too many people I wanted to see. But once the Bad Bunny, Frank Ocean, there was just such a huge lineup that I had to see it. Because they had Kali Uchis. Becky G, they had Charlie XCX, they had Rosalia.
Pushed it down the stairs. What? Crashed my car into the hands up. I don't care. I love it. Tanto tiempo tenerse en ese golpe día a día. Eso cambió. Cuando acaba y entra otro, te confío por Dios.
They had Youngblood, Metro Boomin, and then all the ones that I told you my sister introduced me to. Once the second year came that I went to by myself, there was so many people. Sublime. Deftones, Little Uzi, Peso Pluma, Jhené Aiko, Tens, Victoria Monet, No Doubt. Ashe, Young Miko, Sabrina Carpenter, obviously the headliners Lana, Tyler the Creator, and Doja. Like that was just a lineup I could not miss, right? So I had to go. When it's like that jam-packed of such an amazing lineup, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get there. It was unfortunate that I didn't know how good Sabrina and JB was gonna bring it. I would have went this year too. But some of the iconic performances that I wish I would have knew existed would be 2007. They had Rage Against the Machine and Amy Winehouse.
Across the water. And I think about all the things that I just do. In my head I plan.
How fucking epic that would be. Cure in 04. They had Prince in 08.
You just wanna have control. You want a perfect body. You want a perfect soul.
See, like I'm not a huge rap fan. Like I'll listen to rap, but I don't really pay to go to a rap concert. I like I said, I like music that I can move to, that I can dance to, that has instruments. I probably wouldn't have went to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, but the fact that they brought out the hologram Tupac, that was fucking epic. Like that was insane. I would have loved to see that. There are a few performances that I wish I would have known about that I could have attended if I could turn back time.
If I could turn back time. If I could find a way.
Then that's what I would have done, as go to those performances. I'm really excited on what the future holds for Coachella. I feel like they just keep getting better. They keep progressing. They keep getting more diverse. They keep incorporating so many different genres of music from where they started. So I also recommend watching their YouTube video on 20 years in the making. You'll find out that it actually started as mostly rock music, mostly indie. The headliners that they had that performed the most was ironically the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They had AC/DC at one point. And so it definitely started off as rock indie. And then as the years went on, they started to incorporate R&B. They started to incorporate rap. And now I am so stoked that they're incorporating Latina music and making them headliner. How Bad Bunny was the first Latin headliner. And
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Ey, pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Yeah, me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, un VIP. Ey, saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Say cheese, que sonrían las que ya le metí.
Karol G as the first female Latin headliner. And what sucks is she was actually one of my dream headliners. It sucks that I missed this too, but I got to see her. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm just excited to see what other lineups they come up with. To me, if you're a music lover, Coachella is 100% worth the money, worth the experience. Make it a part of your bucket list, something that you must see and must do in your lifetime. Anybody that lives in Cali, y'all don't have a motherfucking excuse. Y'all just need to get there, for real. That's all I gotta say is how much I love it and how much Karol G is a motherfucking queen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment.